Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting sports news every single day. And today, we have some huge news that every Lions fan has been waiting for. Shamar Stewart is officially a Detroit Lion. But was this the right move? And what does it mean for the future of Detroit's defense? Stay with us because this one is big. The 2025 NFL Draft is in the books, and the Detroit Lions made a statement by selecting Shamar Stewart to bolster their defensive front. Leading up to the draft, speculation ran wild. Would Detroit prioritize secondary help, offensive line depth, or double down on their pass rush? Well, they answered that question loud and clear. With Stewart now officially in Honolulu blue and silver, fans are asking, did the Lions just secure the final piece to a dominant defense? Shamar Stewart was one of the most physically imposing edge rushers in this year's draft class. Standing at 6'5" and 267 pounds, coming out of Texas A&M, he put up 65 tackles, 4 passes defended, and 4.5 sacks, showing flashes of elite talent against top competition. But it wasn't just his stats that caught scouts' attention. It was his relentless work ethic, explosiveness off the snap, and ability to disrupt plays in multiple ways. His relative athletic score, RAS, of 9.99 ranks third all-time among 1,802 defensive ends measured over the last 40 years. That kind of rare athleticism is exactly what teams dream of when looking for a franchise pass rusher. The Lions already had a strong defensive unit, but they were missing a true game-wrecker opposite Aiden Hutchinson. With Stewart in the lineup, Detroit now boasts one of the most fearsome edge-rushing duos in the league. Think about it, offensive lines will have to account for both Hutchinson and Stewart on every single snap. That means more one-on-one opportunities, more QB pressures, and ultimately, more turnovers forced by Detroit's defense. And let's not forget, the Lions are in win-now mode. Last season, they made a deep playoff run, but their pass rush ran out of gas against elite quarterbacks. With Stewart in the mix, Detroit is sending a message to the rest of the NFC. They're not just here to compete, they're here to dominate. One of the biggest reasons Detroit fell in love with Stewart? His mentality. Despite being one of the most hyped prospects in the draft, he remains humble and focused. I came from nothing, Stewart told reporters. I've been humbled many times, so no matter where I go in life, I'll stay grounded. That's exactly the kind of mindset that fits perfectly with Dan Campbell's culture of grit, resilience, and hard-nosed football. Stewart isn't just a great athlete. He's a relentless competitor who refuses to take his foot off the gas. That's the kind of attitude that wins championships. The reaction from the fan base has been electric. Some are already calling this the best defensive draft pick since Aiden Hutchinson, while others are dreaming about what this means for Detroit's future Super Bowl chances. Even NFL analysts are raving about the pick. One scout described Stewart as a perfect fit for the Lions' aggressive defensive scheme, while another called him a high-upside player who could develop into an all-pro caliber talent. But of course, now comes the real test. How quickly can Stewart adapt to the NFL and make an immediate impact? Will he be a Week 1 starter? Could he contend for the Defensive Rookie of the Year? All eyes will be on him as the season unfolds. The excitement around Shamar Stewart is justified. This isn't just about adding another pass rusher. This is about making a statement. The Detroit Lions are officially in their championship window, and they're acting like it. In past years, Detroit may have played it safe, opting for a less flashy but solid pick. Not this time. The front office, coaching staff, and fans all know that this team is capable of something special, and Stewart could be the final piece that pushes them over the edge. But let's break this down further. What kind of impact can we expect from Stewart in year 1? Well, it's not just about sacks. Yes, getting to the quarterback is crucial, but what makes Stewart special is his versatility. He's a player who can set the edge against the run, drop into coverage when needed, and most importantly, force opposing offenses to game plan around him. That's something the Lions desperately needed, especially when facing teams with elite offensive lines. We saw last season how even a strong Detroit defense could be neutralized when an elite quarterback had too much time in the pocket. Now, that changes. Offensive coordinators won't be able to double-team Hutchinson without opening the door for Stewart. This is the kind of problem defensive coordinators dream of creating for their opponents. Beyond just his raw talent, Stewart's work ethic is what truly sets him apart. Coaches rave about his motor, his attention to detail, and his willingness to put in the extra work. He's the type of player who's in the film room early and stays late after practice. And that's exactly what Dan Campbell and his staff want. Detroit's culture is built on grit and relentless effort, and Stewart fits that mold perfectly. There won't be any easing into this. He's going to be thrown into the fire from day one, and all signs point to him thriving in that environment. One thing to keep an eye on is how Stewart will adjust to the NFL's speed. The transition from college to the pros can be challenging, but players with his level of athleticism and drive tend to make a smoother adjustment. Training camp will be the first big test, where he'll face off against some of the league's best offensive linemen. If he can show early flashes of dominance in practice, expect the coaching staff to give him significant reps in preseason games. Another critical aspect to consider is how Stewart's presence will affect the rest of the Lions' defense. With him commanding attention on one side and Hutchinson on the other, linebackers and defensive backs could find themselves in more favorable matchups. This could lead to an overall improvement in Detroit's defensive performance, especially in critical moments against high-powered offenses. Looking at the long-term picture, Stewart has the potential to be a foundational piece for Detroit. If he continues to develop at the pace many expect, the Lions may have landed not just a great player, but a true defensive cornerstone for years to come. His growth will be crucial as Detroit aims to maintain its status as a top contender in the NFC. It's also worth mentioning that Stewart's leadership qualities could emerge as he gains experience. The Lions already have a strong locker room culture, and adding a young, hungry player like Stewart only strengthens that. Don't be surprised if he becomes a vocal leader as he gains confidence and solidifies his role on the team. But let's speculate a little more. What if Stewart has a breakout rookie season? Could he push Detroit into elite defensive territory? Could he be the missing ingredient that turns the Lions into a Super Bowl-winning team? It's a lot to ask of a rookie, but with the talent, coaching, and team culture in place, anything is possible. But what do you think about this pick? Did the Lions make the right move by selecting Shamar Stewart? Or should they have gone in a different direction? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I can't wait to read them. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. We've got more Lions news, game breakdowns, and draft analysis coming your way, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Lions!